company co-owner Jeanette Baisa tells us that this is the first fully turnkey coffee farm, roastery, and cafe on the east side of Hawaii Island in a half-century. Today, we asked Jeanette to give us the lowdown. What really goes into the making of a cup of coffee?
Alright, you want to seal the bag?
I'll still work.
So you'll put it in about...
These are 5-pound bags?
These are 5-pound bags.
Do you like rice?
Yeah. These stuff on it. Let's seal.
Family and friends, love makes them strong. The door is always open, you know you belong. Laughter and music, you'll be glad you stayed.
When you go, plan ahead and make sure you're part of a tour that features interpreters, folks on staff who actually dress and do the work of the period. Interpreter Vivian Ontai enacted the role of Mama-san and cook, and we got to enjoy the musubi. So back in the day, they packed this up?
Yeah, this was their lunch, their lunch box. We ate whatever Mom planted in the garden and what was in season. So when I went out there this afternoon, I found eggplant, which was roasted on the coals there. Found carrots and daikon.
In a very real way, this special place makes certain an important part of our lives. Our hardworking, humble families who came before us will never be forgotten. And now from the Sheraton Keauhou, Executive Chef Bill Hubel prepares a couple of wonderful new items from his menu. Simply delicious.
Here is we've got a collection of heirloom tomatoes that are grown right here in Hamakua Springs, a local farmer. We've got several different varieties that they're producing, and we're going to put them all together in a really nice salad with all of the ingredients that I just spoke about. As you can see, the inside color, it's very juicy. It's dripping the juice from these tomatoes. They're incredible.
Heirloom tomatoes from Hamakua. The colors, the textures, the taste. More on this in a moment.
You can just see the gloss on the tomatoes, kind of shiny. This is what we're looking for. I've got a really nice variety of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to lightly sprinkle that. The fruitiness of the olive oil matches the tomatoes perfectly. There's a little bit of citrus in the olive oil, and there's a little bit of acid in the olive oil. Then here I've got a 12-year aged balsamic vinegar. This is aged so long that it actually becomes a little bit thick versus a watery version of balsamic vinegar you might buy in the grocery store. What I've got here is some black Molokai salt. This is lava salt, which they're mining out from the ocean, and then they're processing with ash to give it a high mineral content. Some fresh cracked black pepper. And what I've got here is some goat cheese, which is grown in Honoka'a, which is currently ranked number 2 in the nation.
Mochi pounding is a centuries-old thing. Traditionally, Japanese villagers come together to work the mochi made from glutinous rice. Lucky us, we got a ringside seat with 92-year-old Kupuna Masa Chinen, a lifelong resident of the area who was happy to share his manao.
The bottom part is called a usu.
The bottom part is called a usu, and you have the steamed rice. Steamed, it's a glutinous rice. It's very sticky. It's not like the common rice. So what they're doing is to mash it together so it gets stickier. And then they'll pound it with the wooden mallet called a kine.
The mallet is a kine.
Yeah, K-I-N-E, yeah. Like the Hawaiians called kine kine?
Yeah.
No, that's different, that's flour.
Almost like.
Yeah. Right in the middle, Taurus. Right in the middle, Taurus.
And hit him. Hit him in the middle.
Thinking good luck, something, good luck. Something. More money.
Once the mochi is pounded enough to get to the right consistency, it's moved to the area where it's pulled into individual balls of mochi. Some are filled with goodies like sweet black beans, and some are plain. And when it's all done, all of it's taken away by participants and visitors to be eaten, shared, and customarily given as an offering to deceased ancestors.
Join us for Island Kitchens, celebrating Hawaii's multifaceted food and culture.
My involvement had more to do with the fact that I was grounded than it had to do with the fact that I wanted to participate.
And not grounded like spiritually connecting. You mean grounded like you're in trouble and you got grounded?
Like I was untrustworthy to be by myself, so I was permanently grounded to my father.
So years later, Daniel, you are clearly known for your work in this area. Lots has taken place. How did you become involved, as an adult doing what you do?
The breaking point was two events that occurred. One is which I became a father, and the second event was that the University of Hawaii tried to patent varieties of Hawaiian taro and tried to GMO taro.
Now we're in Daniel's backyard. We're told that depending on the time of the year, there can be upwards of 100 people pounding their own poi to take home.
Too much water too early, and your poi can become lumpy. Too much water in the late stages, of course, makes watery poi.
I love poi. When I was on Mokuokeawe, I stayed down in Waipio Valley and I stayed at this place called Ka'ilio Pu'eo. And down there, Anakalakia Franda taught a bunch of us how to, malama aina and how to work lo'i. And I remember very vividly the day that he taught us how to make pa'iai.
You must be Joe.
Call me Uncle Joe.
Hi, Uncle Joe. I'm Amy.
Aloha.
Uncle Joe, Jerry.
Aloha, good to meet you both.
Uncle Joe's obviously very Hawaiian. He's got a good knowledge of the history, and because the Hawaiians are who they are, there's a spiritualness to it.
You guys ready for your first adventure of the day?
Let's go.
Come with me.
All right. We went to the Pali